into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. And now, all was quiet as the creatures watched the woodcutter, and they wondered why he had come. The woodcutter stopped and he pointed to the great Kapock tree. And he said,
"Wow, this is a great tree. I think I'll cut it down."
The woodcutter took the axe that he carried and he struck the trunk of the tree. The sounds of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard.
Chop, chop, chop.
He wiped off the sweat that ran down his face, and soon he grew so tired he sat down to rest at the foot of the great Kapock tree. Before long, the heat and the hum of the forest had lulled the woodcutter to sleep.
the boa constrictors lived in the great Kapock tree. They slithered down its trunk to where the woodcutter was sleeping. They looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. And then the huge snakes slid very close to the woodcutter, and they hissed and they said, "Senor." Big voices. "Senor. This tree,
My bunch
don't,
in it.
big voice,
Don't
don't
chop it down.
And then they slithered back to their home.
Then the bees buzzed down from the Kapock tree. And they said to the sleeping woodcutter,
Senor, we collect pollen from trees and flowers. All of the things depend on one another.
Then a troop of monkeys scampered down from the canopy of the Kapock tree. And they chattered to the sleeping woodcutter and they said,
Senor, we have seen your ways a minute. You chop down one tree, you cut a piece for another.
a toucan, a macaw, and a cock of the rock flew down from the canopy. And they squawked to the woodcutter and they said,
Senor, don't chop down this tree. Soon the forest will disappear. The dog is fed us.
Then the bright and small tree frogs crawled along the edge of the leaf. And in their squeaky voices, they piped in the woodcutter's ear and they said,
Senor, ruined rainforest means ruined lives.
The jaguars had been sleeping along the branch in the middle of the tree. Because their spotted coats blended into the dappled lights and shadows of the understory, no one had noticed them. Now they leapt down and they padded silently over to the sleeping woodcutter. And they growled. And they said,
Senor, this tree is open to any animal.
The tree porcupines swung down from branch to branch.
Tree porcupines.
And they said to the woodcutter,
Senor, don't chop down this tree. Did you know animals and humans need oxygen to live?
Then the anteater climbed down from the kapok tree with her baby in her arms. The unstriped anteater said to the sleeping woodcutter,
Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future.
No, not a hand, not a hand.
hey, three-toed sloths, you ready? Two toes. The three-toed sloths had begun climbing down from the canopy when the woodcutter first appeared. Only now did they reach the ground. Plodding ever so slowly over to the sleeping woodcutter, they spoke in their deep and lazy voices, and they said,
Senor, how much is beautiful? Have you destroyed the rainforest? On what will you feast your eyes?
The children from the Yanomamo tribe who lived in the rainforest came and knelt over the sleeping woodcutter. They murmured in his ear and they said to him,
Senor, when you awake, please look upon us all with new eyes.
the woodcutter awoke with a start. And before him stood the rainforest children, and all around him staring were the creatures who depended upon the great kapok tree. What wondrous and rare animals they were.
The woodcutter looked about and he saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of bright light glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the great kapok tree. He smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers, and he could feel the steamy mist rising from the forest floor. But he heard no sound, because the creatures were strangely silent.
The woodcutter stood and picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the trunk of the tree, and suddenly he stopped. He turned and he looked at all the animals.
Yeah.
And then he looked at the children.
He hesitated and he dropped the axe. And he said,
We must all help save the rainforest.
Sit down, Maddie. Sit down.
All right. Are we ready? After three. Nice loud voices. 1, 2, 3.
look, look, look for a tiger
with a coat
of yellow and gold. For it's fun to see all the creatures of rainforest home. Take me out to the rainforest. Take me under the leaves. Lizards and snakes are on the ground. Sloths are hanging from trees upside down. Let me look, look, look for a toucan with a beak of red, blue, and green.